And we are live. Hi again. Thanks for joining me. It's Kevin from MPC, and welcome to the fourth live in this week's series. This series is the lost art of growing a business by creating an extraordinary customer experience. And in today's session, it's all about what I call the fuel of champions, and that fuel is feedback. Now, let's be honest. Most business owners will tell you that they want feedback. But if they were honest, what they actually want is praise. But here's the truth. The most valuable insights you'll ever get are the ones that are hard to hear. So let me ask you, when was the last time you asked your customers for feedback? When was the last time you asked them, how are we really doing? And even more importantly, what did you do with what they told you? Okay, it's story time again. Now, when I took over my first restaurant, it was in a really bad way. The food was poor, the service was poor, the atmosphere was poor. Staff morale was rock bottom. And we worked really hard to turn that around. But in my head, I had a question that was whizzing around. And the question was, beyond the financials, which of course are lagging indicators, how will we know that what we're doing is really improving us? And after some debate, we decided to make feedback a core part of our culture. So we had some comment cards printed, which we'll put on every table, and we put a big feedback book right in the entranceway to the restaurant. Now, that was risky. And it was risky because anyone walking in could see every comment, even the bad ones. Now, we sometimes got it wrong. We're human after all. But we did it anyway because we wanted accountability, not comfort. And here's what happened. Once people realised that we cared enough to ask, they started giving us honest, thoughtful, and really constructive feedback. Those comment cards and that comment book became our mirror, showing us what was working, what wasn't, and the more we listened, the more we acted, the better we got. Now for me, feedback is powerful because it has a tendency to do three amazing things. It keeps you honest. You're really able to see your business the way your customers see it, not how you think it is or how you want it to be. Secondly, it reveals any blind spots. We can't see our own bald spot without a mirror, can we? And often, the problems we think are small are the ones that matter most to our customers. Thirdly, it builds trust. When people see you're not just collecting comments, but you're actually listening and improving because of them, they feel valued. Put your teeth in, Kev. They feel valued. And when customers feel valued, they come back. And better still, they come back and bring their friends. Now, not all feedback is equal. Some is emotional, some is practical, but some is pure gold. And a lot of people choose to use the NPS or Net Promoter Score to gather their feedback. And the Net Promoter Score asks one question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are you to recommend us to a friend or colleague? On a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are you to recommend us to a friend or colleague? That one question is really simple, yet it's so effective. But the NPS only matters if you follow up. When someone gives you a low score, you need to reach out to them. You need to thank them. You need to fix the issue, and then you need to wow them the next time they come back. And if you remember, in yesterday's live, I showed you exactly how you can go about doing that. You can find that in my feed somewhere. And when someone gives you great feedback, you want to reward them too. In my restaurants, that could be giving them something like free dessert, a round of drinks, or a priority booking for the next visit. And we did that because those small gestures built relationships, not transactions. Now, if you don't want to use the NPS, that's absolutely fine because you can still get rich, meaningful insights by asking simple, open questions. So, for instance, you could ask, what do you like most about your experience with us? What didn't you like? What could we have done to make it even better? What did we do that you really wish we didn't? What should we start doing, stop doing, or do more of? What else? What could we offer that would make you choose us again? Oh yeah, it's a cheeky one. What could we do that would make you happily pay 10% more for? What could we do that would make you happily pay 10% more for? Now, these questions open the door to active listening, and they invite your customers to share ideas, to share their impressions and emotions, and that's the good stuff. But here's the magic. When customers know their comments, their compliments, and their complaints are being collected, they're being counted, and they're being acted upon, they feel part of your story. So it's an invitation, and people respond to invitations. Customer feedback isn't just about fixing problems, it's your fuel for growth. And it can highlight where your systems or training need improvement. It can reveal inconsistency between individuals, between departments, between teams, or between different shifts. You get real user insight that you can feed straight to the top of the organisational chart. It prevents complacency by keeping you more customer focused. What else? It sparks innovation, new products, smarter priorities, and it gives you competitive intelligence. It tells you what others are doing that you could be doing too. Now, every complaint, every compliment, and every comment is data. Data with emotion attached to it. And when you act on it, you strengthen your brand, you strengthen your people, and your profits. Okay, let's make this interactive. Share with me in the comments what's one piece of customer feedback that surprised you or changed how you do business. So that's what's one piece of customer feedback that surprised you or changed how you do business. So look what we got. Nothing yet. Here we go. We weren't as bad as we thought we were. And that's great feedback, isn't it? Because sometimes we can be really critical of ourselves. I don't know about you, but I often chase perfection, and that doesn't tend to end well. And it just ended in frustration for me. Don't be shy, keep them coming. Staff who I held in high esteem were the ones causing most of my complaints. Well, that's some great feedback, and I understand the shock of that. And it can really mess up the career path that you might have been considering for some people. Okay. Right, okay. Nick is asking, what did I mean the numbers are lagging indicators? That's a great question. And it proves you're listening, Nick, by the way. Well done. Sales and profit are vital numbers to track, but they're back there, aren't they? they're after the event, which means you can't influence them anymore. And because of the comments we were getting, we implemented changes. And if we were getting more positive comments, to me, it meant that we could have an expectancy for increased sales and profit in the future. Does that make sense? Does that answer the question, Nick? Brilliant. Okay, I'm going to move on because of time, but I'm sort of wondering if the lack of comments is because some of you aren't gathering feedback. And if that's the case, you're missing out on gold. And sometimes the smallest piece of feedback can make the biggest difference. So, here's your challenge for today. First, create one simple, consistent way for customers to give you feedback. Now, that could be something as simple as a form, a card, or a one-question email. Second, review the feedback with your team every week. Every week. Make a commitment to review that feedback every week. And then pick one improvement to make each time. And thirdly, don't forget to follow up on the positives too. Say thank you. Surprise people so that you turn happy customers into ambassadors. And remember, feedback isn't criticism, it's coaching. It's the fuel that helps you grow stronger, it helps you grow smarter and more customer focused. Okay, so all right, join me for the final live of the week, dealing with complaints the right way. And I'll show you how in one business, we went from getting 4 written complaint letters per day to turning our biggest critics into our most loyal customers. And I'll give you a framework for dealing with complaints that works. You won't want to miss it. I'll see you tomorrow.